Welcome back to the third and final segment of the Loveland Report. We've been talking about rates. I've got the Lone Ranger here with me. We're talking about what's going on in the market, and we're going to talk about, I got a couple more listings, diving into prices are still rising, seasonal selling. You know, this has been kind of a slow summer, Bruce. It's almost like a fall season as far as the number of home sales, but that should start to pick up. And that's what's funny.
I think things are going to pick up just because rates are improving.
I think they're going to pick up big time. So, but I want to talk about, I've got some McMansions here, Bruce. I want to talk about that. I've got McMansions, all Dr. Phillips area. I've got one for $968,000, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. This is in South Bay, connected to Bay Hill, 3,200 square feet with a pool, side entry garage, tile roof, travertine flooring throughout, beautiful floor plan, 3-way split plan, gorgeously appointed. You know, the rooms are higher, the ceiling. The ceilings are higher in all the rooms. The architectural design, very nice. Circular driveway out front. I've got that for $968,000 in South Bay. I've got one that's 3,500 square feet, Northern Dr. Phillips, $915,000, $80,000 kitchen, all new wood floors throughout, a master on the first floor with a den, bonus room upstairs, and 4 more bedrooms. Beautiful pool surrounded by travertine.
Sounds like a gorgeous place.
And then I've got one coming on at $999 for 3,300 square feet. And this house, you walk into some homes, Bruce, this house has more windows than walls, I think. It's just light everywhere. Almost like it was.
As long as they're well insulated,
yes,
I guess
they are.
you're okay.
So, but they are everywhere in this house. And this is in South Dr. Phillips. And call me if you want to take a look at any of those. That's going to be at $999. I think the one in South Bay is the best buy right now for $968. That's a beautiful community. And call me at 407-352-8118 if you'd like any more information on those.
Yeah, and if you'd like to get a mortgage on one of those properties, all you have to do is call the Lone Ranger at 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144. I suggest you shop me. You will not be disappointed. Go ahead, call the Rocket Mortgage, call your credit union, call your bank, do whatever you want, but come to me. You'll always get the best.
Now, those houses I just mentioned at 900,000 in the 900s, are we still in a jumbo? Are we in a jumbo?
Well, you'd put something down, but you can, because your conventional mortgages are at 825.
So they might need like almost 20% down, but
not even 20. You're really
less than 20 on those, but are jumbo rates much worse? Or is it just the requirements are harder?
Well, it's not that their rates are worse. They might be a little bit different, but usually it's the qualifications. It's the debt ratios need to be under 43% instead of 50. And you usually on a jumbo, I highly advise you putting 20% down. You can do a 90% jumbo, but when you do a 90% jumbo, I would probably do what's called our signature series loan, which is our own in-house jumbo, where your rates are more in line with conventional rates.
And then do we have PMI on that?
Well, I can do no PMI, or I can do PMI at 10%. You can buy out your PMI.
And let's say grandma died and left me a couple $100,000. Can I recast that jumbo?
Absolutely. You
still can do that. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
You can recast.
Tell everybody what recasting is.
The only loans that you really have trouble recasting are VA. You can't recast a VA.
But all right. But tell everybody what recasting is. I got 2 sellers right now, found the house they love. And they're actually, one's calling you today to get qualified to buy without selling. And then we'll sell his house in the next couple months.
So here's the thing. Let's just say you wanted to buy a new home now and you have the money to put down, but you only have 5% to put down or 10%. And you really want to put down 50, 60% to keep your payment down, but you don't have it until you sell your current home. But you want to buy this one and then slowly transition into the new one. Then you sell your old one. And now we got $500,000 to put down or whatever it is. Recasting the mortgage. If this is assuming you don't want to pay it off, recasting the mortgage means you put down a lump sum on your current mortgage that I did for you, and I will readjust the payments based on the new balance.
And what if it takes me below where I need PMI? Will PMI come off?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Come off.
Awesome.
Come off immediately.
And I've never heard anybody else doing this, Bruce.
Well, recasts have been around for a while. It's just that a lot of mortgage companies just don't want to do them.
Want to mess with it.
And a lot of it is because if you go to a bank or a mortgage company that doesn't service the loan, they're not going to be able to do it. They have no way to do it. So since Cross Country services our loans. Don't get caught up. Just because you bank somewhere, don't think that that bank is your right choice for a mortgage. The loan arranger at Cross Country Mortgage is your very best choice. And I say that because I will talk the talk and walk the walk. You come to me, I'll make sure you always get the very best. 407-250-9144 or WeBringYouHome.com. I don't know a lot of people that are telling people to get on a VIP watch list for refis right now.
They're going to want to do it right now.
And my competitors right now are telling me, because I talked to some of my competitors and they're like, you're an idiot for telling me you should be picking up more of these refis right now. I'm doing a ton of refis right now, but I'm telling my clients that are looking for rate reduction or PMI elimination just to hold off a little longer.
Yeah.
I've got one client that I've done 4 mortgages for. I swear she calls me every week. Is it time? Is it time? Is it time? And I'm like, I will tell you, Bobby, when the time is right.
Yep.
But that's because I don't want you to keep churning. A mortgage company is going to make money every time they refi.
Don't be a refi-aholic.
Right. So what they want you to do is refi now. And then in 6 months, if it drops again, they want you to refi again. That's ridiculous. That chews up your equity. Call somebody that you can count on, that you can trust. And that would be yours truly, the Loan Arranger. 407-250-9144 or WeBringYouHome.com. All right, Cleve Loveland, you got any crazy emails that you've seen lately?
Well, I think the biggest question I'm getting lately is, why haven't I sold? I've been out to see a lot of sellers. They've been on the market for 90, 60, 120 days, whatever it might be. And they're wondering why they didn't sell. And they're watching, they're okay with the interest rate. They know they're going to end up at 6 3/4. They know that they're going to get out of their house about. But they're wondering, why haven't we sold? Is this market so really, really, really terrible? And after I go look at it, I find out a couple of things. It's not always price, market position. And sometimes it's the co-broke. They're not offering enough money to the other agent. And, with the law that changed a year ago this month, the MLS, I can't look up, if you're my buyer, Bruce, I can't look up an MLS. I'm going to show you 4 homes. I don't know what my paycheck is. I have to call the agency. And if they're not offering a co-broke, you don't have to, but I think it's a kiss of death if you don't.
I wouldn't.
Because if you got I'm a buyer, I'm going to buy at 500,000 and I've got 50,000 to put down, and you're going to put me into like a 5% down loan. I got some money for costs. And all of a sudden I got to pay my realtor $15,000 out of my pocket. That skews my cost, skews my offer,
as a buyer,
everything. Makes it complicated.
It would make it extremely difficult.
That's part of the problem I see. The other part I see is sometimes I'll walk into these houses and it looks like there was a frat party the night before. And I'm like, and sometimes I'll look at the pictures and it shows that almost looks like a crime scene. And I'm like, they put these pictures in MLS, like, what the heck?
It's terrible.
And one of this house has been on the market for 140 days with no offers. And so you needed somebody to look at the whole situation, because it's not always market position price. It's not always the marketing or the co-broke. But the combination of those things, sometimes I had somebody that had their house locked down because they work from home. They only wanted to show it after 5 p.m. And I said, we got to you got to open it up some, because people see that where they can't set an appointment except between 5 and 5:30 and 7:30 p.m. They might not be able to get to you. So you got to open it up. And they had Sundays off for church.
Listen, if you're going to sell a product, it's like, have you ever gone to a store to buy something that you went there specifically to buy and they didn't have any?
Yep.
I mean, you went there to that store to buy. So why would you be out looking for a house and not be available to show the product? Why would you do that?
Yep.
And then when it comes to real estate commissions, if you're a real estate agent out there and you are not paying at least a 2.5% co-broke to the buyer's agent, you're doing your seller a disservice. You've got to be able to attract the people that have the buyers. The buyers are the way. You don't have a deal unless you have a buyer in your pocket.
Yep.
So you've got to make it attractive. I not only suggest you pay the 3% co-broke, I suggest that you make a handsome contribution towards closing costs. Now you position yourself better to sell. That's the way I would do it.
Yep. You got to be flexible. You got to know what's going on. When I get an offer from an agent, I call them and ask them some questions. Tell me about your buyer. What's going on here? Tell me about, do they have a home to sell? And if I get silence on the phone or just heavy breathing, I'm like, all right, we got some questions to answer before we, respond to your counteroffer or give you a counteroffer. All these things come into play. You need to know what's going on.
Well, I'll tell you one more thing that's going on. Hometown Heroes.
Okay.
Opens up on, I think it's Monday. Is Monday the 18th?
Yep.
opens up Monday the 18th.
But
all new guidelines. So
back to just first responders
back
and
to
hometown
first
heroes?
responders, but there's a lot of people. There's teachers, first responders, correctional officers. There's a list of like 200 different occupations. So if you are curious as to whether you fall in, now it's got to be some type of a hero like teacher, but even daycare workers can qualify for that. So there's all nurses, all kinds of different occupations qualify for it. Hometown Heroes, you can get 5% of the loan amount towards your down payment and closing costs. 5%. So that's 15 grand on $300,000.
It's a great program, but not everybody's going to be able to get that. But what about if I'm a buyer and I've got my 3 or 4%, 5% down?
Yes.
And get my cost. Don't you guys have other, and I'm not a veteran, don't you guys have other 100% loans?
Yeah, we have 100% FHA loans. It's a combo loan. It's a first and second mortgage, but it's no down payment loan.
What's that second? Just a short 5-year or 10-year?
No, it's over a 10-year period of time.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a shorter period of time than the 30-year
mortgage.
Can
knock that one out and eliminate
knock that one out quick. If cash out of pocket is your biggest issue, first thing, if you're not a veteran, let's see if you qualify for USDA. If you don't qualify for USDA, or if the property's not in a USDA qualified, because that's 100% financing as well. Interest rates are attractive. Mortgage insurance is incredibly low. So that's a great opportunity. So we're going to look for the best. Then if that's not available, then let's see, is there any way we can come up with the down payment before we go 100% FHA? If there's not, I've got the program for you. Yeah, I've got it. I've got everything you need. Right.
Everybody needs to have a little bit of reserve. So if your payment's going to be $2,500, you've got to have something in your savings or your checking account, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So look at Hometown Heroes is coming out. It's got a great program. If you're interested in getting closing costs paid by the state of Florida up to 5%, this is an amazing product. Now, listen, if you are considering Hometown Heroes and you are working with a lender and a real estate agent that are not extremely experienced in this, you will have a mistake. And I've seen it happen, especially when it comes to the earnest money deposit. That earnest money deposit is no longer can be credited back. It's going to come out of your pocket. So you've got to be very careful of that. And if you don't have the right guidance from the lender and the real estate agent,
so you shouldn't do a big deposit.
No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You do not want to do a big deposit on Hometown Heroes, because if the seller said, well, I want $5,000 in earnest money deposit, you have to keep that $5,000 in the deal. And I could have backed into no money out of pocket on a Hometown Heroes. No money out of pocket. Now you put $5,000 down. Nope. Sorry. Not. Same with the appraisal. You put the appraisal money down. It's done. It's paid in advance. So what we want to do with Hometown Heroes is put down a very minimal deposit, but have a rock solid approval, because I still have to make the seller comfortable. And you know my deal. If I write a pre-approval, I'm guarantee you we're going to closing, or I pay the seller up to $500 a day. So you don't want to miss those opportunities. We got a minute and a half.
So I just think anybody needs help right now, Bruce. I just had a gentleman call me. He was amazed that I work in Kissimmee and then I work at the Villages. And because he had mom's house in Kissimmee and he had his house up on the edge of Fruitland Park. But I cover up, my team and I can cover a big area, and you can call me anytime to help sell, help buy, get the right consultation, manage your investment properties. Just took over 4 for a gentleman, and I was just rolling my eyes at how low the rent was. And of course I go over there and the tenants we're handing the tenants letters on vacate, and we're not renewing them. We're handing them letters about we're raising your rent. Of course, they call the landlord squealing. I will take care of your investment properties, make the most out of them for you. Call me at 407-352-8118 or go to cleveloveland.com.
Yeah,
have a great weekend.
Right. Or call the Lone Ranger, Bruce Woodburn, 35 years, and I'm right here in your backyard. 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144, or WeBringYouHome.com. See you tomorrow at 11 o'clock on the Lone Ranger Show. Same station.